Hi. So, is that one? Yeah, it's that one. Okay. Um, so we did Golf with Your Friends. We did Pac-Man. We did a little bit of GTA. Found out that I desperately need somebody to help me get popularity up in my nightclub. Um, and it gave me the mountain lion and the chicken hawk and I think the only one on there that I could have done was a coyote. I am waiting for for my breakfast in the microwave, but I've decided I'm going to do 10 houses. Oh, I might help to figure out which houses are. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This would be 10. Okay. Well, how about 11 then? If it's gonna help me get if it's gonna help me get the whole row done, fine. This is the last house. That needs to be done. Okay. Microwave just went off. I'm hungry. I'm not gonna eat on. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna eat on stream actually, because what I chose isn't a big, food. So, okay, I'll be back. Actually, come with me. Um, just going into the kitchen, get the um. One of these days, it's like I know what it looks like in my head, but trying to figure it out for Minecraft is a little much. But one of these days, I think I will show you the, um, a dream house that I would like to have. But I gotta finish building this thing first. Okay. So anyway, I may not be talking as much until my breakfast is gone. Yeah, so one of my videos that I'm trying to catch up on is 5 hours, 18 minutes, and 25 seconds long. From a person who usually makes, like half an hour and less videos. It's like, wow. But, I was pretty good with Dreamlight Valley. I made them 3-hour or 3.5-hour videos. And, I tried to make sure that they were shorter than I usually do. Oh. Okay. Anyway, we just got that update the day before yesterday, so Wednesday. And I had the small problem of I couldn't quit playing. So each video is there's 6 videos. Well, I mean, there's more than that. There's 8 videos. But most of them are 3 hours and something. But then there's, the other ones where, I mean, there's another one where it's only 2 hours and something. So, but it's the whole entire update from start to finish, except for the routine duties on the star path. Because I got Pocahontas done. I got the star path done. I got, everything that was going to distract me from my story done. Except for obviously today's time on Xbox. But I can't not do that because, that's... Oh, these people are keeping cows. So, the Wandering Traitor took over one of the houses, which, I kind of... He's probably not in there anymore, but, I closed him off. He was stuck in there. I gave him a way to get into the house. I did not give him a way to get out of the house. I don't like the Wandering Traitor. Yeah, he's like a second Wandering Traitor. Or maybe a third. Although since they're Wandering Traitors, maybe... because everybody says the Wandering Traitor. And it's like, no, there's not just one. Or at least not anymore. There's not just one anymore. There's several. I had 3 in one spot one time. Okay, so... And I think they were all trying to drown their llamas. I got very mad at them trying to drown their llamas. Chicken nuggets. Oh, I was gonna say I'm a little upset because I couldn't remember what we had for dinner last night. We had chicken nuggets and fries. So the thing is that we can have some kind of breakfast thing before we leave on Saturday. But then we're probably having lunch at the birthday party. I'm just assuming that it's going to be, food and maybe cake. Grandma's 90, so I don't know if she's having a cake. But most people in our family are cake and ice cream, cake and ice cream, cake and ice cream. Although Dad can't have it. The ice cream, I mean. He'll have the cake, but he won't have the ice cream. Um, it upsets his stomach, so I'm wondering if he needs his gallbladder out too. But it's just not bugging him yet, you know. That would be, oh my goodness, that would be bad if, like, all of a sudden Dad's gallbladder just, attacked and, um, and, like, they weren't at the birthday party. It's at their house, so it would be, like, really bad. I'm not wishing that on him. Nope, nope, nope. Say my dad is 70? 71? One of those two. Anyway. And probably would not be a good thing. So I am, or I was working on my story a little bit yesterday, but then I started falling asleep. Really annoying. But anyway, so there was a cow on one side, wandering Traitor on the back side, and then there's a wolfie over here. Interesting. Anyway, I was working on my story a little bit yesterday, so I was pretty happy about that. But, I really should have gotten more done. But I was, like, trying to watch the, YouTube videos too, and it was a little hot in the house, and yeah, it was just a lot of things distracting me yesterday. I will get it done. I've got an editor, or at least that's what he says he is. I've got an editor that wants to read my books, but I'm like, I can't send you, like, the manuscript. How am I going to do that? That's what I was thinking. But he's, like, over there trying to, well, I'm assuming it's a he. I don't know. Feel like he's over there saying there's no way that he can get all of the typos out. And it's like, yes, I can. Because I don't remember what the typo was. But more than one of the Star Wars books has some kind of has some kind of thing where my husband's pretty sure that whatever word they put in the spot wasn't the word that they were supposed to have in there, or like, this is Vespin. Vespin? Yeah, I think it's Vespin. Like, the sentence is, this is Vespin, but the is isn't there, or something like that, and this is a published book. Published by a, published by a regular publishing company. I guess Amazon's a regular publishing company too, but it just doesn't feel like it because, like, I feel like if I had a regular company that maybe I'd be making more book sales, but I don't know. So I'll stick with Amazon. I'm doing my own advertising every single day. Um, in fact, I have 7 books on Amazon right now. And they are Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times, Esperanza's Party, The Island, Lessons in Love, and Adopted Coral. Adopted Coral is a children's series. All the other ones are stories about my pirates. One of the, or not one of the, like, okay, like Esperanza's Party flows directly into the island, and from the island flows directly into Lessons in Love, and then Lessons in Love flows directly into Test in Love, which is the one that I'm working on right now. So Esperanza's Party, Sean finally realizes that there's something different about notices that there's something different about um Ashley, and Ashley's already noticed that there's something. Ashley likes Sean like that, but they're best friends and they've grown up together, so he doesn't see her as a dateable girl. He sees her as just a best friend who doesn't use the same bathroom. Like at school, how there's girls' bathrooms and boys' bathrooms. And I'm hoping to God that there's not transgender bathrooms. I'm sorry, I'm a firm believer in God made you a girl or a boy. That's it. But, like, I can totally see some guy going, I like guys. And, him being allowed to be, dressing in the ladies' locker room, and then, oh no, I like girls, while he's there, and causing a problem, you know, you know, using the words to his advantage. In other words, I could totally see that happening, and I don't like the idea. Like, if my kids were still in school, I would want my daughter to be in the girls' locker room, and my son to be in the boys' locker room, So, I know that I talk about that show too much, but there was an episode in Nash Bridges where his dad likes this lady, and she's only gonna be in town for a little while, but he wants to take her out on a date anyway. Well, it turns out that she's got a daughter, but the thing is that the daughter used to be her son. So, that causes a little bit of a problem because, like, Nash is saying that is the best person for me because, um, Nash has a, uh, 1974 Himikuta, something like that. Anyway, they like only made 100 of them or something like that, and he's got one. And it used to be his brother's, and so he knows like all of the little specs on the car, all the little interesting details. And the daughter knew all of the details of her car that she had, or his car that he had. um, so now she knew something was up. Although I'm sure that there's some girls out there like Mario Andretti's daughter probably that are into cars enough that they're like, oh yeah, it's one of these, and they might even be able to tell you what the engine is, but it's not likely that you're gonna. I don't know. I guess it's not likely that you're gonna find a girl like that if that's what you want. So that put up a red flag for him right there. Then he's talking to his dad, and his dad's like, "I'm sorry." um. Although when Nick was talking to the mom and uh, the son daughter, um, it went, he was talking like, yeah, right. Yeah, but Nick's a little weird because um, he's got uh, Alzheimer's, I think that's what you call it. Um, it was an interesting character. Anyway, he's got Alzheimer's, so it comes and goes though. So like, say Monday he's totally fine, and then like on Tuesday, might find him um downtown trying to chat up some girl thinking he's still in the Navy again. So, anyway, so, so the part of the story that I'm at is Sean is about to go into town and go shopping. Well, going in town and going shopping, Ashley stops him before he can leave. It's an hour-long drive, but anyway, she stops him before he can leave and is trying to get all the juicy details, of what he's planning to go out and do. And he's trying not to, he's gonna go and buy some stuff for her, but he wants to keep it a surprise. So the more she talks to him, the more he wants to spill the beans on what's going on. But he's like, no, I don't. So I haven't gotten much past that. If I can finish the, if I can get it up to 240 and then 250 and, keep going. I'm not going to get done by Grandma's birthday party, I'm sure. Unless I have like a whole bunch of coffee and my brain just decides that I want to be up, so I don't drink coffee. Unless I can have like something that's going to keep me up all week, but then I'm going to be asleep for the party, so I don't want to miss out on that. There's a problem. I was just remembering. We used to get keto-friendly brownies because they were better for people who can't digest bread very well. And me and my father-in-law, that's what we had. So the first time we did that, I think we made regular brownies for my husband and my and my mother-in-law, not my sister-in-law. You know what? I just realized I don't have any sister-in-laws in the state that I'm in. I've got a sister-in-law in California. I've got one in Pennsylvania, and I got another one in Alaska. Not in that order, though. Technically, in age order, it goes Alaska, California, Pennsylvania. But anyway. I can't wait to watch this later. Like, I want to... Okay, so I want to, start the laundry because otherwise we're not going to have any clothes to take with us on the trip. I still need to try on some of my pants so I can see which one will be the best for the trip, because I'm gonna be wearing shorts. I don't care how cold it is when we leave, I'm gonna be wearing shorts because we're gonna be in the car and I overheat. Would you stop that? Thank you. Well, actually, if we get... Okay, so I said 10 houses, but if we get to the point where it's 11 o'clock, then that'll be different. Somebody out there is probably wondering why I don't use command blocks. I don't know how to use them. And I was happy that my son put them in, put the houses in the way he did. I know they're all that color, but everything on the inside of the house is perfect. And all I have to do is recolor them. So that made me very, very happy. And then for the 2-story houses, I was able to come up with a different configuration. He was able to come up, he was able to command block that too. And it works, Okay, so that is done, and that is done, and the roof is done. Okay, yay. Well, I can't do anything for you. Actually, I can. I can give him some wheat, but probably not going to do it. Yeah, I didn't intend for this to be farmland. I intended it to be residential, but there's grass there, and it looks really empty without the animals, so... So it was weird. We were having internet issues yesterday, but it wasn't raining. And then today it was raining, and we weren't having any internet issues. Anyway, I want to try to get the 10 houses done. Does that mean that we got 11 colors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What? Okay, so. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, but we already had one done. So technically, I guess we're doing 11 because, that one is going to be bamboo already. So we'll just skip over it. The only time that I have to worry about that not being the issue is when it needs to be a bamboo 2-story house, because it'll end up being that color. He just went and did them all the same color, just like the bamboo. So, so it'll be different. Anyway, on all of the houses except for one at the moment, there is not a problem. There's a nice open driveway and a nice open pathway to get to the sidewalk. That other one that I did yesterday, I'm gonna have to see if he's the Wandering Trader's still there. Because if he is, I want to make sure he stays inside. Okay. Basically, this is exactly what we're doing. Just taking the wrong color brick out and putting the right color brick in. And then we do a tour just to make sure we didn't mess anything up. Because sometimes I put them in sideways. There. And then... oh boy. Two stories in close proximity, close area. They're nearby each other. I try not to do that, but what I usually do is put it on the second one in, and then put it on the second one in, and then the next block will be the third house in, and then the next block will be the fourth house in, and etc., etc. Why can't they bug me any other time? It's okay. So spammers call, duh. But for some reason, they love calling while I'm streaming. And it's probably a person sitting there in front of their computer going, I know she's streaming because I'm seeing that she's online, on Twitch. And I'm thinking, that is not a good thing. In that case, it's not a good thing. Okay, anyway, I can't wait to go. I am like chomping at the bit, going, I don't want to miss it. Because it's her 90th birthday. not every grandma gets to be 90. I know my mom didn't get to be 90. Um, and I swear, me and my sister must have been missing her um, on not Wednesday. Like, I think it was Monday or Tuesday we were playing. And no, it had to have been Wednesday because she was doing the Olaf Museum thing, and I'm like, or maybe we were just talking on the thing. Anyway, we were texting each other, this is the outfit that I've got on my character, this is the outfit I've got on my character. And um but but I remember us being on headset. But anyway, um so so we were both putting our characters in green outfits, and that was Mama's favorite color. Um yeah, Mama. Okay. Um, so if I said it wrong before, I'm sorry. So today my son gets to see this train. They call it Big Boy. And, my son's being stubborn about it. He's saying it's not called Big Boy, it's called 4014 or something like that. And and I don't know what its big story is, but because there's got to be a reason why it's important. Yeah, 4014. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, so it's 4014, and and um they call it Big Boy, and I keep saying it's called Big Boy, and he keeps saying it's called 4014, and he was trying to convince me that Thomas the Tank Engine is uh like better known as um he's like trying to convince me the other day that Thomas the Tank Engine is better known as whatever his numbers are, and it's like no. I actually like Thomas the Tank Engine, and the um I like the ones where Ringo Starr was the narrator. Those are my favorite. But I do like the ones where it's got the Scottish twins and um um oh, Harriet or whatever her name is. I don't think Harriet's the name. But anyway, like Harriet and I don't know why I just don't think that that's the name. But anyway, she's Caboose, I think. Um, we used to get my son all kinds of Thomas the Tank Engine DVDs. Because it wasn't Dora. um, our daughter Ashley was all into Dora, and it's all my sister-in-law's fault. But it's also my sister-in-law's fault that our daughter kept trying to get out of the house. She wanted to go out and explore like Dora. She wanted to go out and explore like Dora, and it, you know, they were in a two-story, uh, I mean, they were in an apartment where they were on the second floor. And so, Ashley could have gotten hurt very easily. But she was our babysitter at the time. Then I had to go and trust my baby to strangers. Because my sister-in-law had went to Utah so they could start um, a baby store. I liked the idea, but the location that they picked I don't think was a very good one. Like, they really should have put it in, they really should have put it over by Kmart, but they didn't do that. So, they put it by a grocery store though. But the problem is that they put it across from Target. So it's like, okay, you're buying stuff for your baby. Do you want to trust supposedly gently used clothes, or do you want to, buy the more expensive stuff with a guarantee? And so I just don't think it worked the way it was supposed to. But then we moved to Tahoe, South Lake Tahoe. So that worked. That was pretty good. I used to like living in South Lake Tahoe, but I realized after a while, I didn't realize it until we moved here, but when I don't see the moon, I get like angry. So I'm thinking if there was ever like, if there was ever, um, like the Vikings or something like that, some kind of people like that, maybe they just didn't see the moon enough. I mean, we know that there was Vikings, duh, but like if there was ever, like a set of people that was like bloodthirsty and angry all the time, that might have been the reason. Because I don't want to believe that they were just cranky all the time just because they were cranky all the time. I want to believe there was a reason. So, I was watching one of the videos earlier. I've got a ton of videos to catch up on for Dreamlight Valley information. And one of them was saying that the new door that we got in Dreamlight Valley, um, what could it be? And I was thinking, okay, so it said mischievous and mayhem. And, we're all kind of going, well, what does that mean? And then I was thinking, two people. Well, three people. Chip and Dale. And, and if it's leading to a realm-like situation, maybe we're going into Rescue Rangers land, or maybe we're going into the Rescue Rangers. Maybe we're going into, where the tree where they lived, with Donald. Well, on Donald's property. And they weren't even paying rent. Ooh, we could be going into those little houses. Um, there was a little Donald Duck. Wait, Donald Duck short or Chip and Dale short? Okay, so it's one of those two. It was probably a Chip and Dale short, but still, Donald Duck was in it, and he was the quote bad guy. um, anyway, he had a model railroad in the backyard, and it was one that grown-ups could ride to, I guess. Anyway, and he had it, he's sitting at the front, like on the engine or whatever, and he had like little mountains and trees, um and the problem is that one of the trees that he was or one of the trees in his backyard was, a regular sized tree. So he wanted to get rid of it. Well, it's Chip and Dale's tree. So they come back and there's no tree. Well, there was the miniature railroad tree, but there wasn't, regular trees. And so they're like, something's wrong here. And anyway, they end up walking around at the backyard and finding these little houses. And it was cute because they had, a little bed to sleep in, and they had milk and sandwiches or something like that to eat and drink. And it would have been nice, except for that Donald's like, uh-oh, and comes up with, something to um, make them upset because, all they wanted to do was eat and take a nap. Well, he started making the gate flap, flap in the breeze. So it's making the clack, 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 clack noise. And, Chip can't be bothered to go out there. So he sends Dale. Well, they think it's snowing outside too. So he dresses Dale up in, this really thick coat and, in a beanie and, I mean, not a beanie, a winter hat and everything. And then it turns out when he goes out, Donald goes and makes sure that the heat lamp is on so he can, so Dale's sweating so much that he's like, what the heck? And he closed the gate and everything. But then it's flapping there in the breeze again. Well, if I remember correctly, Chip finally looks into it and is like, oh, that's what's going on. It's Donald. So I don't exactly remember what happened, but I know that, after that, but, it's a cute little, it's a cute little Disney short. Like maybe 10 minutes long. Disney was so good at that. They used to make, really short videos, and they were so cute. And then now, I don't know. I don't like some of the stuff that Disney is coming up with. I like the Princess and the Frog, but I don't like Dr. Facilier and the whole voodoo thing. But it kind of makes sense because it's Mardi Gras with Louisiana, you know. It makes sense, but I don't think it needed to be done the way that it was. You know, it like you go and watch Maleficent in Sleeping Beauty, and you know that that's not really going to happen in real life. But if you watch, like I watched an episode of Blue Bloods where they're trying to get a like this, supposedly this guy has a demon in him. And so the demon goes and makes him unalive people. And the problem is that, you know, you can't really fight that kind of thing. But they finally did. And you don't know if the person is unalived or, you know, at the end of the episode, you don't know if the person's unalived or if they're really going to be okay and, you know, live their life. But anyway, and then there was another episode of, there was an episode of Murder, She Wrote where it had the voodoo stuff, and you know, it's not fun. It's not funny stuff like Weekend at Bernie's where they, I want to say Bernie was not a nice person, but then they unalived him and then they're using him as like a puppet. So it's not like funny stuff like that. And that's what, that's what I don't like about Princess and the Frog, is that it's more on the real side, like in Blue Bloods and Murder, She Wrote, and less, I want to say an A-Team too. I don't remember. I don't know. I'm thinking that there's one more show that had, you know, some kind of voodoo thing in it. Now, on Blue Bloods, she says it's voodoo, and then, you know, everybody else says voodoo, so I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna get this done, and it'll be great. Now, the problem is that if I said I was going to do 10, if I said I was going to do 10 of these, and we somehow can't because it's 11 already, what do I do? Do I keep going until we have the 10? Or do I say the heck with it and, you know, stop? So we'll make that decision when it comes. Making me think of, we'll make that decision when it comes. We'll make that decision when it comes. Yeah. If you don't know the tune, or if you're like, oh my gosh, I know that tune so much, but I can't think of what it is. It's, She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain. I am wondering something. I am suddenly wondering something. If I was able to record myself singing singing something like Never Have I Ever in, in the way that I usually do it. I usually take, like, a short little phrase, and I'm like, never have I ever, and then, like, it'll be, never have I ever, so there's, like, no song to it. But I wonder if, because, I remember the one song is, I'm gonna butcher the words, I'm sure, but it's like, if you love it, put a ring on it. But that's pretty much the whole words. So I'm wondering if I could, sing something like Never Have I Ever, or, any of the other stuff that I sing, and actually make it into a money-making song. I have no idea, but it would be really cool if I could. And it would definitely be a one-hit wonder thing, unless people really like my, uh, really like my songs. Because I usually make it, like when I'm in that kind of singy mood, I make it sound really good. It almost sounds like a professional song, but it's like, never have I ever. Like, 4 words. But I've made up a whole bunch of different songs too. Usually it's to the tune of the A-Team theme song though. For some reason. So we were watching that, like every single episode at one point, and we got to the last season. I want to say season 5. And, like, we were watching it. If not 5, it was 4. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it was season 5. I'm thinking like halfway down season 4, we were like, why? And then we got to season 5, and it's like, yeah, why? It's like, I don't wonder why. I do not wonder why this ended. I mean, I guess there's only so many episodes that they could have made, but, I'm always kind of wondering if they got a fan to write the next episode, would that have worked? It wouldn't have worked for me because, I'm a big fan, but I just, I don't think I could write A-Team episodes. But what if there had been a fan that would, that could watch the show and then come up with a same but better or different, whatever, kind of show. Like the same idea, but, not being horrible. Or like they could have. Okay, so their big thing is that they supposedly stole a bunch of money from the Bank of Hanoi because that's what their commanding officer told them to do. And then their commanding officer got unalived. Their commanding officer got unalived, so he can't be a witness saying, yeah, I said to do that. so it's their word against the whole entire military, So, they could have come up with a better scenario. Like, instead of working for the people who were trying to, um, you know, w- working for the people who were trying to capture them just moments ago, like, come up with something better. I mean, they could have, like, come up with uh, I don't know, they could have come up with something to where, like, okay, Face finally finds that one girl that fills his heart with joy, gets married, has some kids. Maybe, uh, um, BA, that's what they call him. Maybe BA has a, auto mechanic shop, and he's able to give some wonderful bargains for, um, wonderful bargains for fixing up people's cars where it would have cost thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars anywhere else. And, maybe he meets Mrs. BA and, just give it a happy ending. Maybe, uh, maybe Mad-Eye Murdoch could find, could find somebody just as silly as him, but also solid, so she's got her own house and everything, and, he won't need the VA hospital anymore for, for the psych ward because, they, give him a bed and food, The whole reason why he did that is so he'd have room and board, Anyway, I'm really looking forward to my grandma's birthday. And I may be talking about that a lot in the next few videos because I am like freaking out right now. It's the Friday before, it's the Friday before we go. We will be going next Saturday. Okay, so all we have to do is these two walls. Anyway, we will be going next week, Saturday, the 18th, to, basically my hometown. And, my hometown is Susoon, but Fairfield is right on the other side of the, railroad tracks, so basically it's like it's basically like it's all Fairfield or Susoon. And literally on, literally on the map it says Fairfield for the whole thing. But like, Fairfield Susoon Unified School District and Fairfield Susoon, you might even see Napa in there. Napa is like way far away. I don't know why they include Napa, but when you look up the hotel that we want to stay at, we already put in the reservation about a month ago. Anyway, we already put in the reservation. We just got to have the money to, we got to have gas money and, gas money and food money while we're down there. I think my parents said they were going to retire this year. I hope they did it. Because my dad worked, I'm not sure which, for Apple. And, you know, um, you know, yeah, Apple. Anyway, he worked for them, but for a while there, it seemed like they were trying to get rid of him because they had him working the overnight shift. And at the time, he was 60 something. So, I don't think that was working out too well. But then all of a sudden, they had him working mornings again, or I mean, from the morning to, the evening. And then, like, he was off on Thursdays or something like that. And, they gave him some weird schedules, like, here, try this on for size. They were trying to get rid of him. Because he makes, I think he makes a lot of money. Probably a lot more than, what they could, like, say if my son got a job there, they'd probably pay him a lot less than they'd pay my dad, so. Okay, wait a minute. Is that the color? I think that's the color. Yeah. Okay. We're good. We just gotta fix the roof. Well, that helps. Two of the houses we do hardly anything or nothing. So that's awesome. Okay. So once I'm done here, I'm gonna get my peanut butter toast, and then what I just ate was 2 pieces of sausage. I get the ones that are circles, not the links, and they're, I think, more filling. But we got okay. So last time we went grocery shopping like that, I mean, for that kind of stuff, is we got sausage links for him, and we got the circles for me, and then they might be called rounds. I don't know. Anyway, we got that for me, and then we got hash browns. I have not been making up the hash browns. He also got hash brown bites one time. They're pretty good too. Okay, so that is done. Okay, I gotta go follow them real quick. What the heck was that? Was that a sheep and a chicken? Yeah, sheep and a chicken family without the dad. Interesting. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure that we're gonna make all 10 houses today, but we're gonna sure try. I mean, technically, we could go into overtime and go until noon, but I do have some stuff to do. Like, I gotta throw in the outfit I'm wearing. I gotta throw that into the wash so I can make sure that I know that these are the shorts I want to wear that day. And then I need to, and the shirt I want to wear. I just decided that I want to wear this shirt. It might be a little too much for, but I think I want to wear this. And then I gotta figure out a shirt for Sunday. And, oh, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, I gotta figure out an outfit for Sunday. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And so we gotta have our shower in the morning, and then we gotta go all the way down there. But we gotta get down there before 2. And usually we get down there by 5. So, we're gonna have to leave like early and stuff. And I don't know how we're gonna do that. And I definitely want to come up with a playlist that, we're both like, like maybe I'll have my husband hand me his phone and we'll work out a whole bunch of songs for the playlist. We usually play it with his phone. We usually play it from his phone, so I don't know how we're going to do that. Now that I think about it. Like, would we be able to make one of the tablets have the playlist on it? Because tablets have YouTube also. Ugh. Hey! I wasn't even pressing anything. That's the problem. Because I can't just go and put it in da 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 like I did with the lights down there. I gotta put it in individually because I want it a certain way. I don't don't want it going like that. I want it like this. So, yeah, I think after I'm done with this, maybe I will start trying to design the house. Because the thing is that, okay, so it had, like, a living room, and then it had on, if you just came in from the outside world, on the left was some bedrooms, and on the right was the master bedroom. And I like that idea, but... Okay, he's still moving. And I like that idea, but I want 2, like, family room den things on either side of the kitchen also. Because there was family room on, like if you just came in from the outside world, there's a family room. You walk in the house a little bit and there's a kitchen. Well, off to the right was a family room. So I'm like, that is a great idea. But I want two of those because of the fact that we keep on having the problem of our internet doesn't think that the two Xboxes are different. It thinks that they're the same. So if we had to, if we're just that far apart, maybe it would help. Of course, we may have to be paying the internet bill twice because, like, the left side of the house would have its own internet and the right side of the house would have its own internet. And I definitely want, like, the best firewall in the world so that neighbors cannot steal our internet, because I am not sure, but I think maybe one of our neighbors is stealing the internet, and that's why it's having so much problems. Um, like I want to maybe change the password on our internet. Problem is that we'd have to go and change it in everything. We have tons of devices. 2 phones, 2 tablets, 2 everything. Two Xboxes. We got all the good toys. 2 computers. Actually, we got 3 computers because we have 2 computers and a laptop. Old as dirt laptop that doesn't work very well, but. And you're like, well, why didn't you just, do a hard reset on it? Like wipe everything off and put it back on again. And we tried that. My husband went and supposedly took, he said he took everything off of there, to where it's just what's on my computer. But then he went and told me he didn't, so I'm confused. I don't know. But anyway, so I've got to have my peanut butter toast, and then I've got to set some laundry to do its thing, and then I've got to do the litter boxes, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun day. Oh, and I still got to do those do that chapter in my book, and I think I said that the next chapter was like 30 something pages. I'm really looking forward to that. Not. But it'll get me a lot closer to 300, and it'll make me happy. I am on like I think I'm working on 240 right now. So, I'm pretty happy with that, actually. Did I do the roof? Yeah, I did the roof. Okay. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6. That's pretty cool. Yeah, because pink will be 7. Pale will be 8. Blue and red will be 9 and 10. Okay. Yeah. Which one is this one? Mangrove. Okay. Wasn't sure if it was mangrove or, was it crimson? Crimson. Yeah. Yeah, see, that will be, okay, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then this will be 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11's already done by default, so, that way we'll get 11 houses done today, but I gotta do it, I don't know what else to say. The thing is that I would like to vacuum the kitty bedroom and in our bedroom. But the problem is we don't have a vacuum. But I really would like to vacuum it. I know it sounds so weird. I don't usually like to vacuum. And I will probably have to put like some kind of music on. Oh, please tell me I have that. Please tell me I have that. Oh, good. Okay. Anyway, this is just something I have to work at, and it's going to take a while to get to the other end of the street, but it'll get done. Okay, this is faster, but the other one seemed more satisfying. I mean, the other way seemed more satisfying. Where, where I'm doing two at once, it seemed like it was getting done faster. But technically, I think it's getting done faster this way. Okay, so... Yeah, so the thing is, I gotta finish my story, and then I also have to, start the next one. Okay, there we go. So, that is done. Oh, see, they're keeping ocelots. Or, as I was saying it the other yesterday, Maine Coons. Um, yeah, last week I was saying that maybe they're just Maine Coons. Okay, so now, like I said, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then that one's going to be 11 because, we got to do it anyway. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll just put it here. Where's my light? Okay, there we go. What? Oh, okay. I was like, what the heck is he talking about? I don't remember anybody saying you're in charge of navigation today. Apparently they did. He's doing the Moana part. Oh, he's getting Pocahontas. I'm pretty sure. So I got kind of mad at him yesterday, actually. Because he's over there going, this is so easy. All you have to do is put stuff in place. And I'm like, I don't think so. It was not that easy because I had just finished it. The the museum, the Olaf Museum thing. It's called the Grand Exhibition. And I was stumbling over that word so bad yesterday because it's spelled exhibition. And I think it's just exhibition. It's one of those words that isn't quite spelled the way that, it's just not quite spelled right, I think. Either that or people just don't pronounce it correctly. I don't know. It's like I kind of want to start um I kind of want to start um another playlist on my channel where I make a where I make a video and it's just telling people how to say stuff. or your AI doesn't say this correctly. This is how you could say it. Like the letter A. I know that sounds so stupid that your AI might have a problem with the letter A. But it doesn't read it as A. It reads it as or a or something. Like I want to buy a soda. And it was saying I want to buy a soda. But when it says it, it doesn't sound right. And it just isn't right. So what you can do if you use AI voices a lot, like say you're making your stream here, but you don't want your voice on there because you think you don't sound right. I almost wanted to go with that, and then I was like, you know what? I'll just talk. I don't care. Because like when you're an AI voice, you can be perfect. When you're not an AI voice, you do and but you make mistakes. But when you're an AI voice, you can be perfect until all of a sudden you can't say A. But anyway, something that you can do is, you know how 8 is spelled EIGHT? You can put EIGH and the voice will most likely say A. Just leave off the T and you're all good. What else? I know there's some other words that AI just does not say right sometimes. I had to come up with something the other day and I just don't remember what it was. I think it was one of those things that, I've come up with that so many times that just, I fix it and it's good. Okay, so that's done. Yeah, it's like I'm wondering what the heck am I going to do on that trip because I cannot, I have to go and use up my battery power on Friday so I can charge it overnight, pull it off the charger, pull the charger to take with me, and 'cause like I don't want to just get stuff of Grandma's birthday. I want to, get some other stuff too. Like I want to go to um I want to go to Jelly Bag Factory. I want to maybe go to the mall, see how it's changed. I don't usually like going to the mall, but they've got Panda Express in there, and they piled on the food last time. I don't know if he was supposed to do that. Maybe he was a new guy and didn't know, but he piled on the food, and I loved that. We took it with us. We had to take it with us to our hotel, but it turned out that we couldn't stay in the hotel that I wanted to stay at, and I wasn't thinking of it as using up that much gas. Oh my goodness. I was thinking of it as a comfort, I feel safe there thing. Um, the only thing was that the one, I don't know if all of the rooms are like that, but we had a, I was the only one staying there. Um, I had a room that was um, at the end of a really long hallway. And there was a palm tree that looked like a bat outside, and it was like, what the heck? I kind of liked the bat tree. That was pretty cool. But and I was like really happy that there was a manhole cover um or something like one anyway. There was like a manhole cover, and it had crosses all over it. Uh, like a Christian cross. I don't know if that was what it was supposed to be, but that's what I saw it as, and I thought that was so cool. I texted that to my sister, and she thought it was cool too. And then there's just all sorts of neat things that like I didn't realize I missed so much from not being able to visit. I would like to be able to visit once a year for some reason. Probably Thanksgiving. Because we can't usually afford presents. Well, unless people start buying my books. I've got 7 of them available to buy on Amazon. And hopefully by my birthday in July, I will have the 8th one done. I've got 2, not 2. I've got 1 children's book and so far 6 others. Right? Yeah, 6 others. And I am really looking forward to the day when they start making money. You just not just when I buy one, but when other people buy one. Um, yeah, my sister was saying, my sister was saying, I need number 2, and that's Misfortune. It's the book that tells how Hayden got onto the ship. And she somehow I said one thing, and then my sister told her husband another thing, or he just went on there and ordered 2 of them. Well, my books go Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times. And then when those come out, they're gonna go Finding Love, Missionary, and I think it's Lost Memory. And so there's gonna be um, there's gonna be more books in between them and Esperanza's party, but they haven't been written yet. And it's like I've been trying to figure out what do I need to do to put that together. There's people that are on the ship that their whole story is very, very short. So like I was kind of thinking that I would make um a book to go after those five, where they're already on the ship, and where they're already on the ship. Ooh, I just thought of that. Okay. Anyway, they're already on the ship and they're talking about their lives from before. I think that would be the best way to do it. And then we can make it even better. Like they're having a sleepover in the dining room because that's the only. Because the beds are not fixed yet. Or the beds in the. In. Like the beds in the. The the bed for the doctor and the bed for the women is okay, but the rest of it is iffy. So maybe they're sleeping in the dining room, or maybe they're just having they're having like a sleepover in the dining room because Morgan said so, kind of thing. Okay, the roof is done. That wall's done. That wall's done. That wall's done. And that wall's done. Technically, we will not get done on time. Nope. I wanted to get done at 11. Dang it. Now I can't get done at 11 because I can't just leave it that there's 4 houses left. Well, 3, because the only ones I need to do anything to. But still, told you I wouldn't finish on time. But it's like I'm so close. Anyway, so I was thinking that for like like I was thinking that they could go out to a country road. It's still paved and everything, but go out to a country road and have a street race. And the reason is because Travis is saying that he's a really good driver, and Mitch is saying that he's a really good driver, and this is a way to settle the argument. But then they find out that Morgan has brought her Trans Am and it's gonna win. But okay, so like Mitch, he's the head mechanic in the engine room. He's he's the top guy, and then Travis comes in and Morgan orders them to work together, but they're arguing like all the time because, like Travis thinks that it should be him and Mitch thinks that it should be him and that Travis shouldn't even be working on the engine. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. But I just got to come up with that first. Like a big argument between the two of them, and they got to settle it with the street race. And it's kind of funny. I'm half listening to a 5-hour plus video, and he's doing the Pocahontas quest and to get Pocahontas, and then also he's been doing some other things, the Olaf Museum and stuff like that, the Grand Exhibition. Anyway, so he's been doing that, and I can't listen to it right now, even though he said it was okay to have him in the background. But that way I'm not talking, so I don't like that idea. But he did say that if I wanted to play him play his video in the background, it was okay. And I think that's awesome. I think Mr. Starnsky said that as well. And I'm pretty sure Park Pass said that as well. But I wouldn't do that unless I was doing a Disneyland video. But I would be worried that YouTube would say, but I did actually try to record my video on the, but it might have been muted at the time, because I did have the problem of it was muted. So it might have gotten muted, and that was the reason why it didn't show up. But, well, no, it showed up on the Twitch, it didn't show up on the YouTube. And the whole entire time, it's like you had to turn up the speaker all the way. I don't usually have it up all the way because I don't want it to be blasting my ears. But, you had to have it up all the way. I'm putting up my footrest, that's why I'm not moving. Anyway, you had to have it all the way up and you could barely hear it. So, I don't know if it was muted or if... I mean, obviously, if it was muted, you wouldn't have been able to hear anything at all. But I had it up higher than I normally had it. I mean, that I normally have it, and it wasn't hardly on there. And you could not hear it on YouTube, so... So, I don't know how I would do that, but I need to be able to merge them together. Like, do something like this, and have the story playing in the background. Just a chapter at a time. And then I'll have you, I'll either have you wanting to buy books because, you want to find out what happens next, or saying, well, we'll, find out what happens next week. And then, everybody will be watching those videos because they're going to want to find out what happens. Or, they'll get rewatched because they'll probably get rewatched because because you know it'll be like a once a week thing on Mondays. Because I thought Minecraft Mondays. It's fate. They both start with an M. But yeah, at first I was like, okay, Minecraft Mondays, Dreamlight Valley on Sundays. I know, you're saying that that's different than what it is now. Yeah, I changed it. Anyway, Dreamlight Valley on Sundays, and then Backgammon, Roblox, and Zoo Tycoon on Tuesdays, but I don't play Zoo Tycoon anymore because it ends up being Garbage Tycoon. All you're doing is going around and collecting the garbage. You don't get to hang out with, you don't get to take care of the animals. So, I don't like it. Anyway, and then it was Disneyland Adventures on Wednesdays. Well, the reason why it got switched is because all the updates for Dreamlight Valley are on Wednesdays. So I was like having to wait until the I was having to wait until Sunday to do the content, and I was way behind because everybody else was already doing their stream or video on it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna switch it. I think I switched it 2024. And I've been happier, about my schedule ever since. Oh, look, those people are keeping pandas. Apparently, that's one of the most ill-tempered pets that you could have. I mean, I hope that nobody has a panda for a pet, but I hope they do donate to endangered species groups, legitimate ones, ones that are actually doing the job that they say they're going to do. Because I think the panda is endangered. I don't want them to go to extinct. That would be really bad. There's so many animals that are extinct. Like, if the unicorn really existed and isn't just a figment of somebody's imagination, that doesn't exist anymore. And then, the dodo bird. And how do we know that these even existed, How do we know? I mean, apparently, according to one, I want to say it was National Geographic or History Channel, one of those two. Probably National Geographic. But anyway, they were talking about the dodo, and apparently there was this one island, and that's where the dodos were. And the dodos, I think the reason why they're called the dodos, the dodo birds were, they just walk right up to the people. It was like, hi, how are you doing? And apparently the sailors thought that they tasted really good, and they all got unalived and extinct. Well, if they would have thought about it, they could have probably taken, a boy dodo and a girl dodo with them, and, raised them like chickens, and, it would have been fine, but they didn't do that. They didn't know to do that. So it's not here anymore. And the unicorn, I have no idea. Nobody's come up with an idea for the unicorn. Like, uh, one song says that, Noah got all the animals except for the unicorn. Which, if that would have happened, Noah would have sunk because God told him to get two of every animal. And there's something like seven of the bugs and spiders and stuff. But like two of every animal. And I don't know why we need bugs and spiders and stuff, but that's okay. No, actually, not aphids, but some other, like ladybugs, I think, are supposed to be good for your garden. And, okay, let's double check. Anyway, they're supposed to be good for your garden. And, yeah, I kind of lost what I was talking about. But anyway, they are. Okay. Oh, that's what I was saying. The song was saying that, you know, he got two of everything, but the unicorn, basically the unicorn missed the boat, and that's why they're not with us anymore. But if if the unicorn was a real animal, then, I had a thought until I added the if. But, I don't understand why everybody would know about it if 6 chapters into the book they miss the boat. That doesn't work for me. And then I personally think that maybe dragons were just, dinosaurs. Because they say the Earth is millions of years old, and they say it's millions of years old, and the dinosaurs were the first animals on Earth. But how do we know that they were dinosaurs and not just bigger versions of what we have now? We're thinking that they're dinosaurs, like on movies and stuff. But what if it was just like, a household cat that was, 6 feet tall and 4,000 pounds or whatever, I see that happening more than seeing these, big lizard-like creatures all over the place. I don't understand where they got big lizard-like creatures, because, my mom was watching National Geographic, and they were showing, like, deer with a, it was a deer, but it was like 10 feet tall, and 10 feet on each side antler span or something like that. It was huge. Well, I'm thinking maybe God scaled them down so they wouldn't be so scary, and we might want to go and make friends with them and leave salt for them and stuff like that, like you're not supposed to do. And you go and watch the movie Bambi and you get sad when uh his mom's not there anymore, and then you get really worried, because they're being chased by man. And yeah, how are you going to do that? Because the bad guy in Bambi was man. So you'd have to like have a Dreamlight storyline to go with that he's like super scared of your character and Mother Gothel and Gaston and Tiana and the princesses and all that, because they're um because they're scary. Cause I mean, because they're humans. You would have to have that kind of storyline, and I don't know. It's like I want Bambi. I want Bambi, Thumper. I want the prince from Snow White. I think they said Prince Florian. Um, I want the evil queen. I want the seven dwarfs. Um, if they wanted to put a character in there that didn't have very much to say, they could put in the huntsman. But like I don't really see them putting in the huntsman. But I want the evil queen, and I want the seven dwarfs, and I want the prince, and then and then from Sleeping Beauty, I at least want. What are you doing? Anyway, from Sleeping Beauty, I at least want the prince, and then and the three good fairies, and then if they're gonna do that, the king and queen and Philip's dad, Prince Philip, his dad, because I can't. Oh, Hubert. His name is Hubert. And I want Robin Hood and Maid Marian and Lil John and Prince John and Sir Hiss. You know, um, I want all of the characters, and I don't just want the newer ones. Where it's like pretty easy because Dr. Facilier and Tiana, I mean not Tiana, yeah, Tiana, Dr. Facilier and Tiana and Naveen, they're all digital anyway. All they have to do is digitize them to look a little different from what they were in Dreamlight Valley, and it's all good, Ugh. Yeah, so I woke up at 7 something this morning. I was just like in go back to sleep mode. But I had to go upstairs. So, I got up, I turned on my monitor on purpose. And I turned on the light, and then, I think that's how it went anyway. Anyway, and then I went upstairs, did what I needed to do, came back downstairs, and started working on my story a little bit. And okay, he's still moving. He went quiet, so he's probably talking, but I just can't hear him because I turned it down just in case. Because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. That would be bad. Because they don't just go and mute the part that is offensive. They go and mute the whole entire video. And I don't appreciate that. In this day and age, they can mute the part that is offensive instead of... like they can mute the part that was offensive instead of having it, to where, the whole thing's no sound. Okay, I don't know if I'm hot flashing or if it really is that hot in here. Because, like, I think the neighbors have the mindset of it's 54 outside, it is cold, and the heater should be on, or, I don't know if that's what the thing is or not, but, it sure seems like they think that, since it's 54 outside, that the heater should be on, and that means that our place, during this time of year anyway, is too hot. But then I don't know if it's too early to start opening doors, because I might get cold. I don't know. Anyway, it's 11:18, and we got one house after this one. I mean, technically two, but the last one doesn't need to have anything done to it, so... Okay. So, like I've mentioned several times, I'm chomping at the bit because literally, next week, Saturday, not next, okay, there's tomorrow, Saturday. The one after that is the one where we're going on the trip to Grandma's birthday party at my parents' house, and I'm freaking out. Like, I'm freaking out that we're going to forget something. I'm freaking out that we haven't packed yet. I'm just, like freaking out. The laundry isn't done yet. The litter boxes aren't done yet. I'm probably going to do the litter boxes on Friday. I'm doing them today, so I'll probably do them on Friday. So hopefully there's no accidents when we come back. I'm sure there's going to be cat eruptions. But anyway, I'm hoping. And then I'm going to feel bad because Bobby always wants to cuddle at night because it's like really cold in here. She always wants to cuddle at night, and I'm not going to be able to because I won't be here. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is do this Hmm. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. I was wondering what the heck part he was doing. I forgot that there was a part where we need a garden in the Pocahontas thing. That's the other thing. I'm worried that I'm gonna forget to put content out for the YouTube viewers. Um, I like I'm kind of afraid that uh all of my other viewers are gonna be like, she didn't post today. Oh wait, she didn't stream today. What the heck? And just I'll come back and I'll have like one follower. Hopefully that won't happen because I've been saying it all week. We're going to be at Grandma's on the 18th and 19th. I mean, Grandma's birthday party. Um, the 18th and 19th, and well, technically the 19th will just be coming home, but we'll be at Grandma's birthday party on the 18th, and then on the 19th we'll be going home, and uh, I don't know what is I'm just I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stream anything on the 19th, and stream what would be a good question. Because 19th is usually Disneyland, but I'll probably do that early for the YouTube watchers. And um, that's another thing I need to do. I need to go and make sure all my videos have the link in the description below, so you know how to find me on YouTube and Discord and Amazon. And I need to do that too. And oh my gosh, it's like that's gonna take forever. I know that's gonna take forever, and cause I haven't done it in like a long time. I haven't done it since last month, I think. I keep saying, oh, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next week, and then, yeah. So, so it's like I want to work on my story, but I may end up doing that instead. So everybody can, see what I'm doing. The problem is, so at the moment, I want to go and like do my whole week's content in one shot. So, I'm only doing it on, um, so I'm only doing it on, um, Sunday Sunday the 19th, because I'm freaking out. Yeah, I'm just like, it's just, it hasn't happened yet, and, I'm like excited, but I'm like, so many things could go wrong, and yeah, I'm just like, I've got to wash, certain clothes so I can make sure that I've, uh, got what I need, and I'm gonna wash my sleeping bag because, it's been snowing in Tahoe, so I want to make sure that we've got something warm to, I want to make sure that we've got something warm to have around us just in case we get stuck in the snow. We've got four-wheel drive, I think. So I don't think we have to really worry about that. But you never know. Sometimes four-wheel drives get stuck too. And I think that is so weird that it's snowing because it's April. But we've had it several times where it was still snowing in March here. So it snowing in April isn't really a horrible thing. Apparently, one year it snowed in July and they had to cancel the fireworks. Um, that's something yeah, okay. So, let me put it this way. Okay, so normally I go and stream for 3 or 4 hours, 8 to 11 or noon, depending. And if I get done with that, if I get done with this house before noon, I'm not going to stay on here and do it longer. But usually I go from 8 to noon. Well, what if, since I am chomping at the bit here, what if I do, what if I take out time, after I get the chapter done, because it's only like 3 pages left. No, two and a half pages left. There's only like two and a half pages left. What if I go and do all of this week, together, not together in one video, but, do it one right after another, after another, after another. And then when I'm streaming, I could be working on my 4th of July display. I know for a fact that I know for a fact that the little, grand finales at the end of the street need help. I just don't know what to do. They need help, though. The idea was have a grand finale at the end of the street, and I haven't worked on that in I don't know how long, so I'm gonna have to get back into the groove on that one. But like I could work on that instead. I mean, still, I'm gonna have to do my dream snap on Wednesday. So that's gonna be done. And the routine duties. So it'll probably say dream snap, routine duties, and more if I, do something else. But, that's the only day that really has to be done that day. I mean, that's the only recording that really has to be done that specific day. So, we can go and have me and my husband work on GTA stuff when he gets home, at least for a little bit. And, that'll be Thursday's content. It'll be perfect. And I'm just going to have to go and make sure that I get on there that specific day at 11 and make sure it did what it was supposed to do. Because I've had the problem of I schedule it and it doesn't actually come out that time. It still says it's scheduled. And I double check the date and it's like, yeah, it says April the 10th. Okay. I came up with April the 10th because that's what today is. Okay, so anyway, we've almost got this done. Wait. Okay, we got that done. We got that done. Oh, we got that done. And we got that done. Okay, cool. Yeah, we really do almost have this done. Cool, yay. And then we can move on to the next house, which doesn't need anything done to it. So we can move on to the next house. And we're not going to do it because we're not ready yet. But I got my chore stuff to do first. I don't really say that my stories are a chore. But when I'm trying to put them into audio mode, they kind of are because, sometimes the thing messes up Um, like, uh, okay, this is actually a movie title, but um, I will use it as a, uh, that would be funny. That would actually be funny putting that in one of my books, but it's already taken, and for that reason, so I probably won't. Anyway, the movie is called Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. And so for example, Sean's voice is done by uh Eric. I mean Derek. The voice I use for him is called Derek. So Derek sometimes goes and says, when you have the quote marks in there, stop or my mom will shoot. Stop or my mom will shoot. Even though stop or my mom will shoot was only on there once. So you gotta take out the quote marks and then he says it correctly. Which is totally dumb because, you go and take out the quote marks and he doesn't say it right. Necessarily. Most of the time I'm just happy that he said it correctly and I'm all good. And just a minute! Yep. Hi. I just have a certified for Michael and Tina. Yeah. I really wish you guys would bring that stuff to the other door, because this door is so hard to open.
Oh, this is where your mailbox is. So.
I know, that's stupid. Well, I wrote it.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't even try to get it right. Okay. Well, at least she knocked to where, you could hear it. The last person said that they came to the door, did not even try. Or it was the little noise I heard. It's like, you could lightly knock on the window, as long as it's nicely. But then that's kind of like stalking, so. Anyway. So yeah, that the thing that I'm trying to do is, like, I'm trying to get everything done, and, it feels like there's too much time in between everything, and I'm, freaking out a little bit. Okay, so that one's done already. We can come over here. Here. There we go. We can come over here, and we can switch this, and we are not continuing. Even though it's 11:34, and we could go until noon if we wanted to. Oh, how about we follow this? Okay, so I write books, and they're available on Amazon in hardback, paperback, and ebook. The paperbacks are all $20 except for the children's book, because that is only $6. It's a cute little book that I wrote about my cat, from my cat's perspective. She's just introducing you to the family and stuff. And I was meant to do a part 2, and I didn't. So I might make a part. Okay. Okay, so we got one block, one block, one block, 2 blocks, 2 blocks, 2 blocks, 2 blocks, and half. No, okay. 3 blocks, 3 blocks, 3 blocks, 3 blocks, 4 blocks, 4 blocks. Okay, if it would have been shorter than that, I would have gone for it. Okay. Anyway, and then the ebooks are $3.05 for Pirate's Daughter, $3.05 for Esperanza's Party. Esperanza's Party. $5 for Misfortune, $5 for Hard Times, $5 for The Island, and $5 for Lessons in Love. And Coral's book is only $2.99. Then the hardbacks, they get a little complicated because Pirate's Daughter is $26, Misfortune is $26, Hard Times is $26, Esperanza's Party is $24. I may change that. The Island is $25. I may change that. And Lessons in Love, I don't know why, but it's $27. Because I think I was trying to get $5 out of each hardback book, and that's what it ended up being. But, yeah, I think I want to check out Esperanza's Party and The Island and see why it's not 26. I have no idea why it's not 26. Also, my books don't just ship to America. They also ship to the UK and Japan and Australia. I think Germany. I, I don't remember all the countries. I really need to figure it out. But, like, they go to a whole, like everywhere that, I guess everywhere that Amazon ships, my books can go there. And I don't know if they get translated into that language or not, but if they do, cool. If they don't, well, sorry. um, maybe we'll have them translated into other languages later, but for now, I don't have any clue if they are or not. If you're watching me on Twitch right now, you're probably pretty dang angry at me because I haven't had it open the whole time. I'm sorry, but please follow and chat. If you are watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell. Please get those valid public watch hours up, and please buy my books, and I will see you in the next stream or video.